Hey, welcome to the channel. We hope that you enjoy today's stories and check out the chapters on the video to see all the stories for today. But before we get into this video, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to get notified when we release a new video. So let's get into the video.
Has a ghost ever killed a person directly? Well, here's the thing, ghosts can be scary, but have you ever heard of a case where death happened due to paranormal activity? Like a ghost literally possessed a person and killed that person? If you know any stories or anything like that, please let me know.
Experience 1. Well, a person can be scared to death by an avenging demon or evil spirit. I've not heard of a possessed person being killed by a demon. But if the soul in the person decides to leave the body, the demon cannot continue to survive as it takes a soul to keep the flesh alive. Experience 2. It seems even the strongest of ghosts can't do any more than close a door, so I highly doubt they would even be able to put any visible injury on you, let alone kill someone. Experience 3. Possession doesn't involve ghosts, but low-plane entities, so no. If they are earthly spirits, meaning a person who once lived and now is deceased and has bad intentions for the living, they can torture them and even make them depressed until the person decides to end their existence if they pay attention to what the ghost is saying. Otherwise, no. Experience 4. No. Not directly, not even indirectly. According to all scientifically accepted evidence, only living people commit violence. There are hundreds of stories, maybe even thousands, about how a person claimed to be possessed or at least ordered by evil spirits that forced them to commit various acts of violence and depravity. But not a single one of them has ever been confirmed, and most of them have been completely busted as total BS. If demonic possession was ever confirmed to be a real thing, you can bet Aunt Edna's bingo money more people would have used it in court. Experience 5. Not quite what you are asking, but the story behind Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil is about a man who was supposedly killed by the ghost of his former lover. There is a book and a movie about it. Experience 6. Speaking from personal experience, if a ghost/spirit/entity can express the physical force needed to move another object/person while still maintaining an ethereal form, which, of course, I have personally witnessed and subject to, then that same entity is equally capable of killing with either equivalent or greater force. Myself, I've been witness to entities capable of the kind of acts that make Hollywood horror, on all levels, look like a cartoon. And if you ask me, that's pretty bad. Experience 7. Dr. Malachi Martin, an exorcist and ex-Catholic priest, told his friend that he was pushed by an invisible force, which caused him head trauma and ultimately death. He had performed an exorcism on a 4-year-old girl, possibly the same day. It was a short time before the fall. His interviews with Art Bell were absolutely fascinating. Experience 8. Spirits can try to kill you in many ways, being the cause of a disease by messing around with your energy points, inspiring you to go to a place where there's the risk of an accident or murder, inspiring someone who's already with the will of doing evil to cross your path or be attracted to it, to inspire you to unalive yourself by projecting thoughts onto you within the span of weeks or months, etc. Usually never in a direct manner. However, there are situations within certain occult or left path practices where a strong entity can be asked to kill someone and succeed by having a whole team of subordinates on the other side viciously attack the target until it succumbs, being that by those means already mentioned, or, in a very low percentage of the cases, with what some may call possession. Other than the power of those entities, what they take into account when doing those works is if the target deserves what is being asked, meaning that some research is done on their part to see if there is a path of possibility within the spiritual penance of karmic debt one brings with oneself. Experience 9. There is one fairly detailed case mentioned here. But there have been several that I've heard of that are unconfirmed, but the people left are certain of them. So, the answer is yes, but since so many people are so very skeptical, the cases are unconfirmed. Experience 10. The Bell Witch case, which the movie An American Haunting was based on, is the only documented case where the cause of death was directly attributed to paranormal phenomena. Experience 11. Doubtful. We have no way to actually verify that's what happened. Autopsies don't usually reveal that someone was spooked to death. Ghosts themselves aren't even verifiably real. Experience 12. Negative spirits can influence people to end themselves, give them very bad health, etc. My friend's mom committed self-deletion, and it was believed to be caused by an evil entity that was haunting their house. Experience 13. Watch An American Haunting with Donald Sutherland. It's based on real events and is about the only known documented case of an entity killing someone. Experience 14. I remember thinking in those movies Nightmare on Elm Street, where he eventually ends up killing people, that if he ended up killing me that I would seriously kick his butt in the afterlife. So, I think that's why ghosts/demons can only mess with you so much, because if you end up dying you are now officially in their playing field and can bug them incessantly. Experience 15. In my understanding and research, never directly. However, there are cases of scratches, fires being started, people being pushed as they walk downstairs, and things thrown, but no direct killing. It's almost like a rule that they can't. This sort of thing is seen relatively commonly with no serious injury.
Do you like listening to these stories? Do you want to hear more of them? Then click that like button, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. And check the description for links to more videos and interesting stories.
Experience 16. No, I don't think so. Not spirits from deceased humans. I had one that would sort of help me give myself leg cramps. Technically, she was just rubbing my calves really frickin' early in the morning. I'd stretch way too much and too soon, causing a cramp. This went on for months, not every day. Then I woke up and saw her. I crossed her over, and after that she was pleasant. Only dropped by a few times, I think. Hard to tell because her presence is different. Experience 17. I've always wondered this too. My husband's cousin once had a can of hairspray thrown violently at her head. It missed and cracked the wall tile behind her head apparently. Always made me wonder though, what if it had hit her in the temple or something? She could have easily died. Experience 18. One case from my country comes to mind, the Expedient Vitae case. A girl and her friends decided to play with a Ouija board in their school. Some teachers busted them and broke the board right there. We were a very Catholic country back then. Witnesses said black smoke came out of the board and got into the mouth of Veronica, one of the girls. A big poltergeist phenomenon started happening in the family's house, to the point they had to call the police. The case became famous because of the policemen who witnessed objects flying around and getting shattered against the walls, doors opening and things like that. They were heavily shaken and included everything in their official report. The girl ended up dying suddenly a few days later, after becoming very ill over the days. Very strange stuff. If anyone understands Spanish, there are episodes from Cuarto Milenio, TV show, and Milenio 3, podcast, on the case. Highly recommended. Experience 19. What I know is a ghost is an angrier and more physical thing. It's the memory of something. But maybe someday someone will come back as a ghost and tell us a ghost did it. Imagine trying to get a jury for that cause. Experience 20. Direct contact, as if it were physical violence. No, they can't. It can only suggest you, or interact with the physical world through energy, which in many cases is electromagnetic. They need to channel a lot of energy to be able to manipulate physical objects, and usually, emotions are a source of their energy. That's why the stories of ghosts who throw objects or touch people are from places where there was a lot of emotional charge. In addition, there are rules and laws that they must comply with. One of those is not to interfere with our energy plane. In cases where they do not comply, they suffer consequences. Many times, they don't know they're dead or just don't want to leave. Sometimes for unresolved issues, they want revenge in some way and end up caged to a place or person. That is why haunted places maintain the mysticism of the ghosts for so long. At some point, he did something he shouldn't, like attacking someone because he wanted to stay on this plane, protect his house, or drive away intruders, causing an automatic and almost eternal sentence. Haunted people suffer something similar, only that the ghost has a grudge, hatred, or an unresolved issue, and having wanted to hurt him in some way, prevents him from moving away from the living person until he reconsiders. The most common punishments I know are to reincarnate instantly and live a very similar life, to remain as a spirit bound by karma until you reconsider, or to suffer as a ghost in the darkness of your own negative reality until you want to move forward and go to the light.
We hope you enjoyed listening to today's stories. If you want to see more stories, check out these videos or check the links in the description for more videos. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And ring that notification bell.